Alright, we left off in our last one explaining the constraints of the logo. And the only constraint is the maximum width, which is 270 pixels. The logo we actually uploaded earlier for the Space Live preview was 270 pixels. And so you can tell it hits the left sidebar um, right here. And so that is basically why there's a constraint. And it can be anything less than 270 pixels, 100 pixels, 150, etc. You get the idea. As far as height goes, there's no constraint. It would just be, running into the menu or any other quirk like that. You can make the logo as tall as you want, and that's the logo. All right, we'll go to the logo position and swap the positions around. Basically, you can just move the logo to the bottom and the navigation to the top and just switch the positions like shown in the live preview. We'll just show you right now. You just click this arrow, change it to bottom, and you want to do the opposite for the navigation bottom. If they're both bottom or both top, they'll run into each other, so you got to have them the opposite. But yeah, so we'll just see what we did. We should have these two switching places. Alright, and they've switched places. You'll notice there is a gap at the bottom under the logo. And that's purposeful, it's part of the design. So if you want that removed, you'll have to look in the CSS and pull that little gap out if you really want it removed, but it's there for a reason. And so don't worry if you can't get that gap out in the options panel. Yeah, so that's just a little explainer right there. You can email me if you, I didn't mean to do that. You can email me if you have a question about that. Just trying to touch basis on it real quick. So let's move on. Fave icon, that's a little icon up here. You can look it up online if you want to learn how to, a little bit more on it, but you can upload your fave icon through there. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, default background, that's the entire background. So right now we have that light gray one. Let's go ahead and swap that out. I'm going to click upload, select my file. I have one on my desktop, which is the dark one, dark background used on the space. Let's upload that. We click use this image. Just like the logo, you can delete it, keep it. Let's save these options real quick. Refresh. It's got the dark background. Pretty good. Alright, let's go on to site height. Site height is the height of our site. Let's just change that to 600, which is the actual live preview of the space. We go in, we check it out. The site height has changed to 600. Pretty cool, pretty simple. Alright, the next option is the scroll bar height. And if you notice, now that we made that really tall, there's a big gap below. And we can just adjust when the scroll bar kicks in is the scroll bar height. So we can go into appearance and go down to scroll bar. Since we changed the height from 500 to 600, let's go ahead and add 100 pixels to our scroll bar from 330 to 430. Save that. And then you notice when we refresh it, it takes up more of the page. So when you start adjusting those things, you can really have a lot of control over that. So I'm going to just run a little low on time on the screencast. So menu background, pretty simple. You just pick a color, save it. Same with the headings color. We're just going to select one for the background of the menu and the logo, which was black. Starting to look good. Alright, I'm going to skip the headings color. It's the same thing as the menu. You can play around with it and figure it out. Static menu, let's just mark that as yes, and I'll explain as we go. Save options. This has to do with how the menu pops down, and if you click yes for the static menu, it's going to always stay visible. And you may want that, may not.